Hey guys, so this is a little different, a little something new. I thought instead of writing things, I would maybe start vlogging about my anxiety and answering your questions that way, because sometimes it's just a lot easier for me to talk about verbally what's going on and what I'm thinking than typing it out, because my brain is thinking blah, 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 and I can't type fast enough, or it just seems like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be the longest blog ever, and I can't even fathom writing it. I'd rather just talk about it. Plus, I think it's a lot more personal. Also, hopefully in the future, I hope these videos will develop and be a little bit more professional and have an intro, but I thought it was really important to just get the video out to help those who it might help, rather than it being amazing quality video in general. So hopefully that will come later if you guys like it and find it helpful. Videos just tend to be, people would prefer to watch things, so I thought maybe that would be cool. And plus you could just, it's just more personal and me talking to you rather than you reading on a screen and something. So the first question, someone wrote in and said they too suffer from anxiety, and I feel you, and it sucks sometimes, doesn't it? But a lot of people have it. And they were wondering how I deal with it day to day and what are things that help me. This question is a little tough to answer because I'm not quite sure if you mean the everyday kind of anxious or panic attacks, which are two different things. This, you know, one extreme. I think when you have anxiety, it's always there. It's always present. It's kind of like your shadow. Sometimes it's more predominant than others. Sometimes it's right in front of you, sometimes it's behind you, and sometimes it's not there at all. You just kind of have to constantly be dealing with it. There are things you can do to maintain just being good and having good days, which are meditation helps. There's an app called Calm on your phone, and I can put a link to that in the description. Just deep breathing helps a lot. Number one thing though is just to remember to stay in the moment. At least for me, when my anxiety starts being triggered, my thoughts start going and going and going, and all of a sudden, even though I'm here, my brain is way up front here, and I'm thinking 5 steps ahead, worst case scenario. So my brain is starting to snowball into all the what ifs. I feel like with me and people I've talked to, a lot of anxiety has to do around the what ifs, and that can be scary stuff because I like to be in control, and I can't control what ifs because it's a what if. It hasn't necessarily happened yet, so I'm gonna freak out about whether or not it's going to happen. So reminding myself, hey, when that starts to happen, because you start to notice when you're like, and you're not paying attention to what's going on because you're like, whoa, I'm starting to go over here. I start to go, hey, I know what you're doing. Mind, stop, relax, take a breath, breathe it out, shake it out, and realize you're here, and that hasn't happened yet. Telling yourself, hey buddy, hey, that hasn't happened yet, so stop freaking out. It could not even happen, so what are you worried about? That's number one. Number two, that's super helpful, and it seems so easy because a lot of these things are like a duh, but your brain, when you have anxiety, it just kind of goes on this weird fight or flight mode, and most people start flighting and they just want to get out, so their brain is taking over, so it's hard to remember to do these simple things. Okay, so number two is to give yourself permission to have that worst case scenario happen. So what does that mean? For me, a lot of my anxiety stems from getting sick in public. For some reason, I think I'm gonna get sick in public and I'm gonna throw up and I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna have an accident. It's so silly. I'm gonna pee my pants, whatever. And I'm gonna be embarrassed and I'm gonna be shamed. Don't know, that's just what I fixate on. And a big helper, especially when I'm almost too far gone to catch myself, so I'm past the point of catching myself, is to go, hey, you know what? So what if you get sick? So what? You know what? You're human. People get sick in public and it sucks. And instead of being shamed and people pointing and laughing, I bet you anything people are gonna feel bad and they're gonna help you. They're not gonna just be like, whoa, you's a mess and I'm out of here, ha ha ha. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's awful. I too would hate to get sick in public, so let me help this poor girl out. Just giving your mind permission to be, it's okay if that happens. You are human, everyone else is human, and it happens. People get sick on airplanes. People get sick on roller coasters. People get sick all the time. Like, it just happens, and it's a part of being human. Just granting myself that permission sometimes just relieves so much of the worry, because it's like, you know what? YOLO, like it's if it happens, it happens, and that's not something I can control. So I think those two things help a lot in the day-to-day, and remembering that 90% of the time that biggest worry isn't even gonna happen. And to just, you know what, you gotta just go, and just pushing past your everyday anxiety are gonna create such big like things to happen in the future. There's little accomplishments. I went outside, even though I was stressed, I went on a run, I did this, are gonna lead to you feeling so good about yourself, because once you accomplish the little baby steps, you're gonna be like, I can do the big steps and go on Thunder Mountain, or something like that, which is for me. And I have, and I don't like it still, guys. I just not a roller coaster person. So yeah, take the little triumphs, yes, triumphs, and celebrate that, because that is awesome. And for you, that's a big thing. For me, that's a big thing to be able to accomplish and push past that and do it. So celebrate the little things so you can help go past the big things. And remember to breathe, and remember to give yourself permission to be embarrassed or whatever it is that's triggering your anxiety. So this video is long enough, so hopefully that answers your question about how I deal with it in an everyday aspect. And ask more questions on my website, jessicaprell.com, and hopefully I'll make another one soon. Bye guys.